shaking up together. Shake. Sorry. Yeah, but of course, shit like beats us in punches.
Just the guy was like, we need to be extended to my really
I'm down.
I'll be behind you, Devin.
I think I placed you there. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be Brianna's friend.
yeah, I don't like
Rules?
You don't want to come be on our committee?
I might change. I was like, so this is like survey. What?
Oh no,
Because I only have
we're meeting next week and we have 2 weeks off.
Because I have live on Mondays and then that's it. But I'm on campus all day because I'm on stress 6:30. That's perfect because live ends at 1:20 on Mondays, which never says space. So,
I'm from helping edit my statutes and our.
when can I go? Like, can I tell them right now and then I can start?
It hasn't started yet. It's going to be in the
See what he says. I will talk to him.
observation.
Well, the only reason I switched it is because we have exam person nights. So what I do is I go to rules until 7 and then our exams at 8. So it's just perfect. Instead of being really hard on the day to do stuff. But I got really, like, I had to like soul searching. That
That would be very extremely relevant to my interest. A smoking joke with a place to play football really further than a smoking joke. Have you seen me on the picture?
Yeah, I use some food for DT. I'm trying to like.
There's free food here.
My classroom right now, the teacher does
There's
research on
free Chick-fil-A here. Chick-fil-A nuggets.
and my class can do research with me. And if I get an end of class, there's someone doing that before I can do interviews. So like like there's so many different things that are important right now. And I'm
It's like, hey Johnson, is that food free for everyone?
I'm having to pay for my applications too.
Yeah, that food's free for everyone. It's not wrong. You're not making it wrong.
I'm just nervous because like I have an exam today just now, and then I have one on Friday, and I was gonna wait until like later to
Stand by.
I think
I just want to see how this meeting starts.
I'm going to probably transition next person. I'm still going to be around. I just can't get time anymore. Like, I really can't.
Understood. Proceed to understand.
It's your first time, yeah. And it's a lot different than what we're used to.
Mr. Gustavo Lopez wants nothing to switch from the rules committee to a special punishment.
It's like very responsible. Thank you. It's really all it is. Debating whether or not
Hey guys, we can start earning started.
Rules. Okay, I'm looking at my feet.
I call this meeting of the Senate to order on Tuesday, January 27th at 6:19 p.m. The first item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, so may everyone please stand. Senator Hibble, please introduce the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is first roll call. Everyone grab your clickers. And click one to mark if you're present.
Rather than doing it on roll call, they use the clicker system.
It also keeps the votes, well, for temporarily anonymous. Because the thing is, you don't want people to be thrown in legislation based on their friendships. You want them to use their heads. So if you use the clicker system, we can't see, like, right now how somebody votes. It's all public record. If you actually go on the website, when he closes his session, VoteNet or this vote software.
Would love to see all the senators apply. So a little bit about ambassadors. Ambassadors is the bridge between the Alumni Association. Your fellow Senate President is one of them too. But it's the bridge between the Alumni Association and the student body. And basically we connect the alumni to the student body. We are the representatives of President Genshaft and we represent the community to the USF. So we connect USF to the community itself. So a little bit about what we do. We work events for President Genshaft, the Alumni Association, for deans, and for colleges as well. It's a very rigorous application process. There is a 3-part interview. There's a group interview where we kind of feel your personality and see whether or not you're the person that we want to represent USF. The second portion of that interview is the individual interview where you speak with fellow ambassadors and someone from the Alumni Association. And then the third interview is the one with President Genshaft, where you kind of talk to her and she talks to you about her strategic plans and what she wants for the university. It's a great opportunity to become the spirit of USF, so hopefully all of you will apply. Applications are due February 3rd. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Julie. Are there any questions for us? Okay, is there anything else for open forum? Senator Ulloa.
So one of our senators is having a birthday today here. So the Senate would like to sing him over here in red, happy birthday. The Senator Hibbs' birthday.
Free cookies, dude.
I've never seen that happen before. Anything else for open forum? If there are no more points, we'll move into general business. First item on the agenda is joint resolution on first reading. So do I see a motion to enter first reading of JPR 55-018? Senator Trump, are there any objections? Seeing no objections, we're now on first reading. You have the senator.
Alright, we have a resolution tonight, authored by our Attorney General and edited by myself. So it's JPR 55-018. Congratulations to Mariah, I think it's right? Mariah Sullivan. So, to offer our sincere congratulations to Mariah Sullivan, be it resolved by the University of South Florida Student Government Assembly. Whereas this assembly has come together to recognize Mariah Sullivan for being named the Boys and Girls Club of America National Youth of the Year. Whereas Ms. Sullivan has volunteered countless hours to the Ronald McDonald House. Whereas Ms. Sullivan graduated high school with a 4.4 GPA and is the first member of her family to attend college, attempting to become a Illinois resident. Whereas Ms. Sullivan was awarded $50,000 for winning National Youth of the Year, deserving of recognition. Whereas Ms. Sullivan has been featured on the Queen of Pizza show, today's Kathy Lee and Hoda show, and in Disney Parks Frozen Christmas Celebration. Whereas Ms. Sullivan is a role model to young men and women around the nation for her dedication to service and academics. Whereas a copy of this resolution shall be sent to Ms. Sullivan and the University of South Florida Tampa campus. Therefore, be it resolved by the University of South Florida Student Government Assembly that on behalf of the student body, this body offers our sincerest congratulations to Ms. Sullivan for all her accomplishments.
Senator Hartman,
Move to pass by acclamation.
are there any objections to passing this resolution by acclamation? Seeing no objections, this resolution passes.
I'll just tell you guys a little bit about Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Each year, Boys and Girls Clubs of America serve 4 million youth in some 4,000 states across the, 4,000 clubs across the United States and across the world on military bases. Each year, one Boys and Girls Club youth is chosen as the National Youth of the Year. That club member represents family orientation, leadership, has overcome outstanding obstacles, has shown community service, has shown outstanding academic success in school, and has also shown that they would like to apply for many scholarships in different colleges across the USA. And I was chosen as National Youth of the Year last September in Washington, D.C. Along with being chosen as Youth of the Year, I won over $60,000 in scholarships from Tupperware Brands Corporation, as well as a brand new 2015 Toyota Corolla from my friends at Toyota as well. I was also invited as a guest on the Queen Latifah show and the Today Show in New York City, and I also met Denzel Washington himself, and that was amazing. That was actually my favorite. I was also invited to the MLB World Series to deliver the game ball in Game 4, and soon in February I'll be having an event with Mr. LeBron James before the NBA All-Star Game. So, Boys and Girls Clubs of America, what they're all about is serving youth, especially those who live in unfortunate circumstances such as myself. I grew up in a single-parent family home. My father wasn't in my life, and it was very tough for my mother, especially since
she made under $20,000 a year, and so coming to college was like a huge milestone in my life. Most of the Boys and Girls Club kids face the same circumstances as myself, and some even more tough than myself. And so I actually wanted to start a club here at USF where we go out to different Boys and Girls Clubs around the Tampa, Hillsborough County area, and we just pour into the youth, teach them how to apply for college, teach them how to write resumes, how to do interviews, and just show them that someone actually cares about them. And I would like to call the program Big Brother, Big Sister, or BGCA Club. So that's just a little bit about what I would like to do here at USF and how I would like to continue my Boys and Girls Club role here. Thank you guys.
The next item on the agenda is student affairs presentations. The first presentation we have is New Student Connection.
Well, I'm not sure we can compete with that award and that recognition. Mariah, that is a fantastic accomplishment and congratulations. Thank you. As Andy pulls up the presentation, I just would like to take a few minutes to introduce the MSC team. So my name is Carrie Rickler, and I am the Director for the Office of New Student Connections and Parent and Family Programs here at the University of South Florida. I actually am a proud USF alum. I won't tell you when I graduated with my master's degree. It was a long, long time ago. Many of you may or may not have been born, depending. But I am proud to bleed green and gold and be a member of this institution. And I've worked at USF for the last 15 years in various different roles. So I started out in our programming area, so what you know is CSI, and then moved over to work with orientation. And then in 2007 was selected as the director for New Student Connections and have been working with our first year and transfer population since that time, and just recently had parent and family added to my portfolio so I can strategize with that staff member about how do we engage our family members and the experiences here that our students are taking advantage of. So very excited to be here. Part of Mariah's story is why I have worked at USF for the last 15 years, and so we appreciate some time tonight to tell you a little bit about our office. But I'll let the other staff members introduce themselves.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nick Kubita. I'm one of the coordinators in the Office of New Student Connections. I've been at USF for a year and a half now. It's flown by in the most glorious way, and I continue learning a lot. I love working with our students and getting to do our programs that we do with them. I work with them kind of in their pre-arrival stage before I pass them off to my colleague in her transition work that she does and support a number of different programs in our office.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lauren Gress. I am the other coordinator in the Office of New Student Connections. I have been here for about 6 months now. Previously, I served as a summer graduate intern in 2012, came back as a summer graduate intern in 2013, and then a wonderful professional opportunity opened up. And so I specifically, like Nick had mentioned, I am the transition coordinator, so I really look to oversee transition efforts and support those students that are here at the institution in that academic school year, specifically with the network program and some of our peer coaching and our First 50 Days initiative. So we appreciate the opportunity to speak with you tonight and share a little bit about New Student Connections, our role, and what we do to support not only our first year and transfer students here on campus, but also the university community as a whole. So the staff is going to provide you a little bit of overview of who we are and what our mission is about.
That's great. So I just want to start with our mission statement to provide you a little bit of context and the purpose of the work that we do. So our mission statement reads that New Student Connections creates and supports shared USF experiences that connect students to the campus community and provide for a successful transition. So the two words that we feel really stand out most are transition and connection, which we feel are most core to the work that we do. And this also allows us to promote both pride and tradition for students on campus. How we do this is through the 5 values that we hold in our office. So those include community, learning, engagement, inclusiveness, and purpose. So I'll just read these and share them with you. Students who engage with NSC, New Student Connections, will establish meaningful relationships that create a sense of community. They will learn who they are through personal reflection. Students will discover inclusive environments where they feel welcomed and safe. They will develop a sense of purpose as a USFO and also become an engaged, contributing member of our community. So these are the values that we integrate into all of our programs and services. We live them as professional staff, and we aspire up to these in order to serve students and all students at University of South Florida.
Awesome. So from that mission, those mission and values, you'll see here, these are our real
goals and programs. These are our 5 core goals, and so you can read them up here on the slide. But our office, we are a high-functioning office that meets the needs of our community, and we provide high-impact experiences for our students. And that ultimately equips to this overall idea of student success here at USF. So in order to meet these goals, you'll see our 5 programs here at the bottom. You may be familiar with some of them. Our Peer Advisor leaders are those student leaders during the summer at orientation interacting with our students. Camp U, which is a 3-day, 2-night extended orientation program. Our Week of Welcome, which you're all probably pretty familiar with. The Network, which is an interest group program. And finally, our First 50 Days Initiative, which is an initiative for students that really focuses on successfully providing a strong transition for students that are entering the institution. We are committed to our student-driven philosophy, and really what I mean by that is we have our upper class leaders really driving our office program. So our student leaders are core to the work that we do. Not only because we know that's transformational for our student leaders and they're learning to lead those programs, but because we know that the most impactful learning and interactions is happening between peer-to-peer. And so that is why we are very, very student-driven and use student connections. So we're going to take some time to view a video now that provides you with a little bit more overview of the services that we offer. We're hoping it will. I didn't prepare any, I'm so sorry.
So hopefully what this video did was provide just a glimpse into some of the energy, the passion, and the pride that's instilled in our programs, but also some of the traditions that we're able to host for students here on campus. So in the vein of creating campus traditions, our office is now in a place where we help create and support a number of these on campus, also in collaboration with other offices, and we're focusing on sustaining and enhancing these. So just to highlight from this past year, our Summer First 50 Day series. This was the inaugural series that we had. We were able to host 30 events with the support and sponsorship of 26 different departments. And we were able to have over 3,000 student interactions, and overall across campus, this was received very well. We continued our Fall Week of Welcome tradition with over 15,000 student interactions during the first 3 days, and we were able to continue traditions such as our class photo and our Week of Welcome kickoff, which is pictured here. Of course, our work doesn't happen alone, and we recognize that, so something that we do value is collaboration. So this is, again, just a quick snapshot of some of the offices that we've collaborated with, and they really help to support us in the work that we do for students at the institution.
Alright, so like I mentioned before, our student leaders are really the driving force for our programs. They are the ones that make our programs come to life. Our leaders welcomed and connected over 25,000 students and family members this past year. Leaders worked over 1,300 hours during just the month of August, and they're paying it forward and serving others on campus. So you may be familiar with some of the student leaders that may be in this room that are serving others and paying it forward by getting involved in other areas as well. Here you can see some of our programs and how they contribute to this concept of student success. So we analyzed our Camp U and Network programs and looked at the retention retention data from their first year to second year. So you'll see here in our camping programs, the 2012 cohort had a retention rate of 92%, which is fantastic. Those are first year students returning to their second year. But then you'll see here our 2013 cohort had a retention rate of 97%, which we are very excited about. For our network cohort, our 2013 cohort was at a 95%. And so we're really excited about this. Over the last couple of years, we have been so excited to really contribute to this concept of student success. And I think these findings really show the level of engagement and how they are fostering that student success here on campus.
So we have two last slides, and a little bit is about kind of outlining how we believe the benefit to the university is by having an office that supports our first year transfer students and those students that have not found their connection or are still transitioning in their experience. And it's about the fact that we really focus in on creating those transition experiences and traditions that USF students love to have. And that creates a sense of belonging and school spirit that all USF students want to have. In addition, we're really looking to create engagement on campus. And so students that are involved in our programs, like we said, have been paying it forward, getting involved on campus, and looking to really become that, leaving that legacy and being a leader on campus. And so we're excited if we can establish that sense of pride, that sense of commitment and affinity for USF in the very beginning of their experience. That propels them and is the catalyst for them to really be active on campus, be sitting in the seats that you are in today, and as well as leaving a legacy here on campus. In addition, we believe that we can, and one of the key things about retention and what's so key about it is that the more students that are retained year in, year out means the more tuition dollars that are created along with the additional fees that might be created. So how that benefits Senate is the more students that the University of South Florida can retain in their first year, or as transfer students that are retained, or year to year that are retained, the more money you have in your activity and service fee base to then be able to allocate out and give back to the institution and support the student body and the student experience. And so our efforts directly help your efforts of trying to create that robust campus environment and more opportunities for our students to be engaged here on campus. And last but not least, certainly, we know that students that are engaged on campus and active and love their USF experience are engaged alumni, and we hope that that will translate into additional donations that support not only USF students through scholarships and activities, but in the programs that we serve. And so it really is this symbiotic kind of experience where we can support our new students and our ongoing campus population. They can then be engaged members and then be engaged alumni in the process. So we wanted to take a few minutes to thank you for having us here. Want to answer any questions you might have. In the past, I've gotten some really great feedback or ideas on programs you would like to see happen or suggestions. And so we would love to entertain any of those items at this time.
Okay, are there any questions? Senator Plum.
It's more like a statement to the Senate. I had the opportunity my freshman year to work with Youth Student Connections, and it was like one of the most impactful things of my life. I loved it. I love Carrie. She's awesome. It really helped me grow. So just so you know, this office does make a huge, huge difference in the lives of not only first years and not only transfer students, but also the entire USF community as a whole with the impacts that you see. The first 50 and week of welcome, those are things you go to. So just remember that, ASAR, when you guys are, just thinking about how to better help your constituents.
Any other points or questions? Senator Semina.
I just want to make a point about Camp U. I was orientation 2 years ago. When I came to university, they did it. It's grown substantially every year. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. And I've not seen anything but positives come out of that program. ASAR from Looking U.S. also. So that's an amazing program to university that impacts first year students. And yet, we talk a lot of the new leaders on this campus that are freshmen and sophomore. A lot of them went to Camp U. That's when they kind of got plugged in and got connected.
Senator Ramirez.
I also was a part of New Student Connections my first 2 years here. It was great. It was awesome. I think supporting them would be very benefit to us in our school. It was a place where we could go to an off-site area, and we went in camps, and I got to meet a bunch of new students here and connect and learn about the programs here, and it was awesome.
Senator Hartman.
On the slide where you mentioned the percentages, can you just mention as compared to what for students without the programs?
Absolutely. So the average first year retention rate in these years
it was 81%. So over the last 10 years, based on the various different efforts that we've done, we've been able to raise that percentage point 9 points as the cohort of 89. So that's the number you're looking for. Our programs are tracking at a retention rate higher than that. So students that are participating in our programs are more likely to persist into their sophomore year than the general USF student body.
And how do you track these?
We have U numbers of every single student. So if you are a CampU student, you have an attribute attached to your banner name that we can then track, and then our alumni association continue to track as well. We haven't gotten that far yet with the network, but that is our hope to be able to track them as well. But every year I throw in the number of students, we go into a system with a cohort, we can upload them into the university data system, and then they push back out what the GPA of that cohort is along with the retention rate.
And do you have anything like regarding GPAs?
I don't know that yet because we've just been able to identify where the GPA is for those students. So I can't have that, but I certainly am looking, and we are looking to be able to provide that data to student affairs, and certainly could share that if that's of interest to this body as well.
Senator Johnson.
Another data question. What is the change in attendance over both years?
Sure, absolutely. So the first year we took 32 students, and that 32 students comprised of both summer students, fall students, and then the following spring students. So that would have been spring of 13. So there were 32 students that went year one. Year two, we had 79 students that attended, so we almost tripled our attendance rate. Last year, we had to cap it at 80 because that was the top number that we felt we could take to CampU and provide a meaningful experience. We had students register for the experience and were closed within 10 days of opening it. We opened May 1st and we're closed by May 15th, before our first orientation session. So the goal is to host two CampU sessions this year based on the interest from the students and then the data that we're receiving regarding the impact of the program, and are seeking funding to be able to support that effort.
Senator Van.
I just have a point that I wanted to say. I attended CampU as a freshman, and I was also a CampU counselor, and I think that is definitely an amazing program. There's a lot of controversy about having to pay, students have to pay to attend CampU, and I think that there's no way that the program could operate if students didn't have to pay to go there. But I definitely think that it is an amazing opportunity. It does so much for students, and that with our funding, that it can be so much more.
To provide also some feedback on that, we do provide an opportunity for those students that are not able to provide that registration fee, a waiver process or fee kind of waiver, where our alumni association and various different individuals, including myself, have donated that money that is needed to allow those students to attend. So last year, roughly 26 students went to CampU with their registration covered by some other donor and entity, and so we are looking to increase those entities and those opportunities, recognizing that 44% of our students that attend the University of South Florida are Pell eligible, and that cost could be prohibitive for them to attend.
Where does most of the cost go?
Senator Hartman.
Where does most of the cost go to?
Yeah, so the majority of the cost, I would say about half of it is just the lodging and food. We go to Day Springs, which is right down by the Ellison Outlet Mall. And so it's roughly about, well, I don't know the exact cost, but over $100 just for those students to stay the 2 nights and 3 days for the experience. So it's 2 nights and then 6 meals that are covered. There's also, it costs over $2,200 to take the Bull Runner shuttles down to Day Springs and back. Most people are like, oh my gosh, we've explored other options to make that cheaper, but those are some of the costs. They get a t-shirt, a water bottle because it's August and it's really warm and hot. They take the Strengths Quest inventory. I don't know if any of you have taken it, but it allows you to identify what your top themes and strengths are so that you can be more successful and confident going into your classes, out of classroom experience, and really you identify for you what your strengths are and how do you maximize those. So we have those conversations. Supplies, general materials. We do a 1956 Olympics activity where they learn about the various different histories and traditions about the university, and they have to spell out USF with their bodies as a group of 12 people. They're all identified and broken up into teams. They have a bandana that celebrates their color. Jessica was Cobra. They all have a symbol. This is the Cobra symbol. So, you know, they have various different things where we look to create some unity and community within that space. So the funds are for all of those types of activities.
Are there any more questions? Seeing no more, thank you so much for coming.
any questions or concerns, please feel free to see us. We're directly below this space on the third floor. Thank you.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is a presentation from the Phyllis P. Marshall Student Center. Mr. Suzette, I can't find it.
Good evening, everybody. How we doing? Got two difficult acts to follow. I just texted my brother, so he's watching now, so now I'm super nervous on top of that.
I see this brother.
Pretty picture, very good. All right, again, I was just asked by Andy, and I've done this presentation a couple of times. So what I really did is just take the ASAR presentation that we just made a little bit ago and edit it and drop the boring money stuff out and just left it in the fun stuff. So that's what I'm going to try and do today. But we want to be the premier host for the USF community. That's kind of our vision, and we try and live that every day and do the best job we can do about providing the services that we provide. How are we going to do that? Is be a vibrant gathering place that strengthens a person's connectivity with the institution. We also like to be that background that hosts campus traditions and as a canvas for you to kind of do the activities that you want to do. Here's our org chart. And so you can look at the way we've got it set up. EMS tends to be the biggest part that we do. That's all the scheduling of the events and facilitation that happens with risk management, budgeting, and helping students understand the event planning process, which sometimes can be a little difficult. And then we've got the operations core. That's the maintenance team, the custodial team, which is some of you know Willie running around, Miss Ruby, the characters that work for us there doing the floor and singing at night. That's kind of in that core there, keeping the building one of the top unions in the nation for cleanliness, is what our benchmarking shows us, and so we're kind of proud of that. And then we've got our marketing arm here. I'm sure some of you have worked with that on the website. It's a very small part of it, but I think it's continuing to grow in emphasis, and so we're looking at potentially putting in some resources there down the road. When people ask what do I do, we try to summarize it this way. There's really four components, and it kind of follows along with our org chart. I try to make things make sense and kind of balance out. So again, we've got the operations core, and that's the day-to-day functioning of the facility. And that includes everything ranging from the restrooms to the HVAC and everything in between. And so that's a really comprehensive big part of it. We've got the marketing arm again that we talked about, so that's all the digital displays and the fun we have with those things. That's the marketing that we do for all the Student Life Tower. And so Lisa, who was on the presentation before, she actually works with all the clients in the building. I put quotation, I don't like using that word, but that's the best way to describe it. So CLCE, OMA, OFSL, Greek Affairs, all those folks come upstairs and utilize the services. We allow her to have her marketing expertise and work with student affairs, communication, and marketing to manage logo usage, make sure we're meeting all the expectations for the institution. And then we'll go all the way to print, and we'll work on websites, we'll work with the homecoming crew. And so that's really what the marketing piece does, is really selling the song. We help student organizations, the flyer displayed downstairs, letting people know all the great things that's happening at USF. And then, of course, EMS is Events and Meeting Services, averaging about 12,000 to 15,000 reservations annually. So we're a very busy facility. The ballroom last fiscal year was about 495 reservations and 365 days. So we're very busy, lots of events happening. We're trying to flip them and change them out constantly. I know availability is an issue because we're so busy. And so student organizations sometimes feel, hey, there's no availability. Departments feel that way too. I feel that way when someone emails me and says, I need a space and I can't find anything. So we're already bursting at the seams. And finally is administration. That's majority of the focus that I have on a day-to-day basis is relationship building. It's fostering collaborations. It's working with our advisory board that the government has put together over the last 2 years, and we continue to strengthen that group by giving them agenda items and training them up the right way. And so that's really kind of what I do. It's dealing with the rental leases, all those big projects. And so all those 4 things combined to form kind of the MSU administrative staff. A snapshot about reservations. What I did was, again, I took fall 2013 and fall 2014. We have total bookings. Again, that's about a third, which you would expect. So we actually, total bookings went up. Total estimated event hours went up. Student bookings, the percentage went down a little bit, but if you look, it's the difference between 3,400 and 200 events. So the total number of student reservations went down. Estimated event hours was kind of flat. So the time that students had reservations with the facility stayed magically the same, but the numbers went different. Just a quick kind of overview of budget. I, unlike a number of my colleagues, is going to have 2 sources. So we've got, of course, our ANS allocation, which is this year again dumping below 60%, and then auxiliary, which is what we generate revenue. Our revenue streams include retail lease from downstairs, 10% of the dining revenue, events and meeting services revenue. Services revenue. And so that's where that money comes in with that piece there. So that's kind of the divide of our facility. Gary's looking good too. In the past, there's been questions about how we use the facility and the services that we provide align with the institutional strategic plan as well as student affairs strategic plan. So there are actually 5 or 6 goals for student affairs. These 4 are the ones that our facility and the MSU administrative team speaks to directly. And so if you look at this, again, it's advancing student success by fostering experiential learning, equipping and empowering students to become impactful and innovative, healthy and safe campus environment, and the final one is using best practices to make sure that we're keeping up with all the student needs. So then if you look at, again, goal 1, 2, 3, and 5, those are represented here, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 5. And then these are our 5-year strategic initiatives. And so these are the things that we're annually making progress on to try and get to where we want to go. So the top one is fostering a unified student-centered experience. Now that sounds easy, but that's probably one of the most difficult tasks. And so as a student, you know right now we're inundated with posters and emails and handbills and everything else about what you want to try and attend to. If you're a student, you also don't know where to go. And so my hope again is to come up with either a master calendar concept, but also consistency within the facility. You're all educated students, so you understand how departments work and how agencies with different areas work and have different reporting structures, and things move differently. When the average student hits the door, it's the market. They don't know that the Einstein folks downstairs are different than the pharmacy folks, are different than student government, are different than us. So I think there are opportunities for us in the facility of the Marshall Center to come together and have some common labels of things, some common training, so that anybody that hits the building has consistent service. Again, a small example of the chair that's out front in the lobby of the Marshall Center. If the student comes to us and is confused, we make them sit there until we can find the right answer. We don't let them around. So I'll either get their name and information and give them my number and say, go back to where you're going to do, and we'll figure it out for you. Or we'll call the person that they're trying to get to and say, oh, you know what, that's a admissions question, or that's a finance question. So we'll call them and say, hey, we're coming over, and we'll take the student to the right spot. So I try and get rid of that shuffle a little bit. So I think there's ways for us to work together and have a seamless experience. And that might be something as simple as working with Office of Multicultural Affairs and having them come up with one cultural development scale that we can use as a group, and then me using that for my student building manager. So then we're all talking the same language across the whole thing. Right now we don't do that. We each look at our own shops, and good work is being done, but I think sometimes we don't capitalize on a greater opportunity. Master calendaring concept and the central information hub, it's been a passion of mine. So you don't have one spot to go to figure out where all the events happen. You have to go hunting. Or you might be in an organization and that becomes your dominant experience. And none of these things are negatives. This is just me trying to do something better. So I envision one spot, one calendar for athletics, for music, for theater events, for things happening in the Marshall Center, for student government events, for CAB events, for Carrie's wonderful things. There's an opportunity for us to get it all in one spot. Now that again sounds really easy, but it's a really difficult task to work and collaborate with all those folks, align technologies, align databases, and then put that in a spot so that the student can say, what's going on right now, and have a list of everything, and figure out where you want to go. So that's one of my long-term goals. And I'd like it to physically eventually be manifested downstairs of the information center. So not only could you go online, potentially look at a web-enabled calendar on your phone, and then call for information, but you can actually go down to the desk and say, where is this information we're all going to get to? Again, it's taking something that's good, and information desk isn't broken by any means, but then providing more enhanced services. 3 and 5, again, the fourth goal is securing building expansion, staffing and equipment levels commensurate with national standards and benchmarks. So I'm in a constant look for information about what other schools are doing and trying to stay ahead of that curve. And so a number of you in here will go out traveling and we'll take a picture of something and say, hey, this looks cool. And I'll try and go and find a way for it to find, if it's budget and feasible, to make itself present in the building. So we're looking at like PC lockers downstairs where you can take a locker, punch in the code, put your laptop in, get the code and walk out, and then come back later and pick up your laptop or your iPad or whatever. So we continue to try and add those things. The charging stations is an example of that. Anything that we might have that we can add value to the experience that's easy and good to maintain, we're looking at those things. On average, most centers, and there's not like a research number, but most centers, the good number is 10 square foot per FTE. So we're about 235,000 square feet. And back when we started initially designing this facility, probably years and years ago, decades ago, we were about 23,000 students. So we ended up with 235,000 square foot building. We are now how much FTE? Probably no more than 90. So we're about half where we need to be. And all of you experience this. Everybody wants more space. Everybody is picky about the facilities in the building. How many of you have not been able to get a reservation or a tent? Hands went up quick. So we know we are bursting at the seams. We do what we can to try and change our policies and procedures to get more people in. We'll negotiate, say, this group, if you'll start 30 minutes before, you folks do 30 minutes back. And if you both agree to do theater style, we're set. But we do a lot of that negotiating to try and cram everything into the facility. But we know right now we're too small. And we know the campus is going to continue to grow. So our one opportunity would be CITF funding to add a big chunk of square footage. But until that happens, we just have to be really miserly with space and try to cram in as many people as we can. So we continue to work on that. The fifth one for me is probably an important one personally as well as I think it's the right thing to do, is become LEED certified. Now that is a thick political document. You have to make check marks and you have to see what you can do here, Energy Star rating of things. They look at the type of flooring that you have, the LED retrofits that we've been doing throughout the building to see our consumption rates. It's behaviors to see what equipment the custodial staff uses, all the way up to the people turn off PCs in our offices when they leave. So that's a big, big task. So we've actually got a external consultant to come in and help us with this, DC, Don Herman. And this is what they do, and they've agreed to do this for free. And so they're going to look at all of our practices. They're actually going to be in the building next week. I'll try to intersect as much student learning as I can. So a number of the Sustainability Council students are part of this, as well as some classes, so that they can get hands-on learning, so we can keep delivering learning laboratory concept for the facility. So we need to be trying to get LEED certified for existing buildings. And that's a big task, and that's why I've given myself 5 years for these items. We chip away at it a little bit each year. And some years we do better, some years we don't get as far, but the end goal is to achieve these things in the 50s. Some of our anticipated achievements for this fiscal year is we did update the feasibility. There was the potential that we could have expanded the facility if CITF funding had been approved. It didn't get approved at the state level, and so the feasibility is now done. We actually consulted with last year's administration. We did a quick focus group. And what the feasibility is not allocation of space. It's just going back and confirming, yes, we need more space. And these are the types of things that potentially go into that space to serve the institution as a whole. We're going to continue to streamline our space scheduling process. We used to have 2 reservationists and 2 event coordinators and planners. What I've done is the number of events and the complexity of each event has gone up dramatically. So we actually took one of the reservation converted to an event planning. So this is a person again that'll sit down with you and detail out the event, because the number of those have gone up in terms of saying, not only do I want a simple meeting every week, but I want a projector, sound system, staging, whatever else might come down the pipe. So we knew we had to keep up with that, so we converted one of those positions over to a conference and event planning. Continue to develop MOUs. So I think there's assumptions. So in the old building, all of the student life structure used to report to one AVP, one director. So when this building came online, the previous VPs looked at things, they restructured, so now we have, I believe, 22 separate departments housed within this facility, reporting to 4 different areas across the campus. So there are things that we need to do to say, here's what you can expect from the MSC administrative team, and then we want vice versa, here's what they can expect from us. So we want to get that in writing, because none of that has been clearly established. We've just been operating on a good handshake and across the table discussion, but we need to get all of that in writing. We're going to continue to reorganize our staffing and building amenities and equipment levels based on your needs and institutional size. Our 2 big things that we do, every other year we collect EBI, and this is an on year for that. So we'll collect about 4,500 or 4,900 paper evaluations about the facility. That evaluation is long and tiring. I say it up front, about an hour. So we bribe people with candy in the atrium for 2 days, and then we'll go to the library, and I'm going to try and fit 1 or 2 other spots, and then that gives us benchmarking data, our institutional performance, our 6 peer institutions, which I'll pick based on the same kind of type of city size and the same campus kind of size, and then we'll get a Carnegie classification comparison, and then the complete national comparison. So about 126 on average universities across the nation participate in this. We'll be able to benchmark ourselves against them, as well as get good information back for us. So that'll be part of that. ACUI is Association of College Unions International. The rich, proud history of these buildings across the nation. These groups get together on a regional conference and an annual conference, and we're active members on that. So again, we can continue to hear about what's cutting edge and contribute to our good ideas. The certification, again, a goal for this year is to meet with the committee and get organized, and so that is well on its way. Collaborate with all the student affairs department, again, that's that calendar piece. So the first thing I just wanted to do is understand where all the different calendars and websites were and put them in one spot. Step 1. And then the last one, again, is continue to do the great job we do with our student employees.
Senator Guo.
So we were talking about space and how you guys are bursting at the seams because I've seen it.
Yes.
So say that you can't add on to the current building. Say that doesn't happen. Is there any way to make like a mini Marshall somewhere else, like more on Leroy Collins, where that one place is that nobody really knows when you first go in, and it's like to the right, it's a building, and there's
That's Judy's
not Judy's house, but right beside it.
The Welcome Center.
No.
Visitor center.
It's okay. So you're coming into USF like this, and this is Leroy Collins. So right, that first random building.
Parking information.
Okay, so we can definitely move that. So, is there any other way to like put somewhere else space for students to utilize on any there or like any other place on campus?
Yes.
Okay.
And so the way it works would be, the first thing would be an easy game. I think to retrofit a building like that, we might as well invest in the building here and do an expansion. And so I think the way to look at this will be to other spaces on campus that we could potentially share. And so I know at a previous institution I worked at 6 o'clock in the evening, I got all the keys to every single academic space in the campus. And wherever there wasn't a class, I could find student organization. That used to happen here when we were smaller. But in those spaces, again, as important as that seems, they've got to be ready for that classroom to be functioning at 8 o'clock in the morning for whatever class that is. That becomes difficult because, again, we are designed and staffed philosophically to address abandoned units. So we'll vacuum at 2 o'clock in the morning after everybody's gone. There's nobody doing that vacuuming and cleaning. I know it sounds weird, but you don't want 8 o'clock morning class with subway lettuce on the floor. So the first thing we could do is work with our academic colleagues to look at certain spaces like that, but it's going to be a trust building thing, and it's going to be finding a way for us to potentially project our staff to different areas So right now, ASARC funds us for the operations of this building, custodial maintenance. Really, you pay for the building to be open and closed every day. Everything else, my salary included, is out of auxiliary revenue. And so for me to project staff out and do that for students, we have to find a way to pay for that. That would be the difference. There are some other easy gains that we can do. Policy-wise, about how things are reserved in the facility. And so we can potentially limit how long the meetings are. And we can stack certain things a different way and organize things. That becomes difficult. Because now we're telling XYZ group, you can't have a 3-hour board. You have to do an hour and 15 minutes, give us 5 minutes to clean up. And then the next group, you have to use the same setup as the groups before. Not palatable. Not my first choice. But then at least we can stack them back to that. There are other venues on campus that we do help reserve. Alumni Ballroom is a good example of one. So we have to be picky because what's going to go in there, we don't have the same ability to have here to work with resources to take right now. So there's no easy solution about a second student center. I've thought about what other spaces are available. There's nothing just pops up.
Senator Zerlo.
I don't know if you can answer this question, but I'm sure you can.
I'll
I
make
know you
something
said you put the numbers out because numbers are boring.
Yeah.
But I'm a numbers guy and I like numbers.
Yeah.
So how do you or whoever in the building helps you make the decision about what you charge when outside organizations from USF come in, and how do you make the decision of what you charge for the spaces that we lease on the first floor and the other levels of the building?
Yeah, so roughly we're about $35 per square foot annually to run the facility. That's based on personnel, utilities, and GAC. So we take that number, we divide it across the non-ANS funded usage, and that helps me get the rates. We also do benchmarking with local event venues like Revolve Downtown and some other places like that, the Marriott. And we're not only competitive, we're way lower than that in terms of the market. But again, parking is going to be a challenge, and there's no availability. So for people coming to weddings and stuff, really it's luck if the ballroom is available. There isn't a student event or departmental or USF event. So our rates are determined based on what the market will hold and what we can provide. The retail right now starts the same way. We kind of looked across the board, and that number is based on utilities and consumption and staffing to cover that space. Early open and late close fee is based on that too. So it's not to generate all this revenue, it's to break even. So when we stayed open for like IFC to do recruitment, and if we paid them low, charged them early open, late close, that's just to cover costs. Does that help?
Senator Hema.
What does the LEED certification do for the LEED certification? It's a private one. To be honest with you, it's an indicator to the president's climate commitment that we are being sustainable as we can be and reducing our climate greenhouse warming gases.
Senator Hartman.
Can you provide us with an update on what's going on at the Smart
Yep. So one of the exciting projects that we have right now is the renovation of the credit union. So the credit union has wanted to contribute and grow a little bit. And there was some difficulties in the communication process. TechSmart has now combined itself, and the coffee center is in with the ID center on the lower level. And then the construction is moving forward, expanding the credit union. What I'm excited about is it will be a completely student-run and managed facility. And so students, I'm just going to pick, I think any student is working at it. College business makes sense because of the credit union. A student will have hands-on experience doing the work that they're getting a degree in before they graduate. With internships and all that. So you can imagine a student that wants to go into credit union or into banking will be able to have that experience, serve their students before they graduate. And so right now we are getting ready to start doing our bidding process and allocating the resources and the funding. Where we're looking at now is the credit union is going to pay for that, and then we're going to get paid back over a 10-year lease period. So they'll fund the money for the improvement process, and we'll give them a 10-year lease.
Senator Colon.
So, I heard back in the day, there was
in school?
You can see how far back she goes.
She opened the door early.
I did.
So, back in the day,
The old building?
yes, I heard there was a bowling alley in the basement. So, my question to the Marshall Student Center is, it doesn't have to be an official one where there's this is going to happen all year round. But, have the Marshall Center sponsor, maybe not bowling, but maybe like human bowling where you're in those gerbil balls or something, like during like finals week or something, just to de-stress, because I think that'd be fun.
We could do that. I was the director that put a skating rink in that atrium in the previous system. We'll do so.
Thank you.
I also managed to tell my bowling, so we don't have to
Senator Hartman.
On one of the slides you had goals numbered.
Yeah.
So I didn't see it number 4.
Yeah. I forget what the student affairs number 4 goal is, but we don't necessarily speak directly to that goal. So I just shared the student affairs goals that we speak to in our mission. I forget what the goal is.
Okay, are there any more questions for Sujit? Principal Aziz.
So let's say, for example, you do a survey, and students want a service, let's say barbershop or something.
Yeah.
How do you go about bringing that idea to fruition? Because some other students have more like students like a dry cleaner, barbershop, and so on. So how do you do those ideas?
And so actually in our last EBI survey, I asked that general question. What are some of the services that you want to see offered? And we left it open-ended, as well as we provided 10 things that I see across the nation. So hair salon, a spa, a co-meat counter was an example, a testing center, all those things. And we asked the students, what did you want to see? By far the number one thing, would you really want to guess what it was? Testing center. Testing center. By far the number one thing. Not as public. Oddly enough. Again, I left it blank, so people could have said whatever they wanted to say.
Like Kaplan?
Yeah. And so originally Kaplan was supposed to be downstairs. I forget specifically where it was. In the old initial drawings of the facility. And so the trick then becomes to ask, will it be financially viable? Because we have to support it as an auxiliary unless we want to pay for it. But yeah, we don't want to do it. But again, if it's an idea that somebody wants, so like most unions are yanking the barbershops out because they're not financially viable. So they actually lose money. Same thing with some of the other services that are offered. So we would take it, do a feasibility study, and do a pro forma to see if it's going to work.
Are there any more questions for Susan? Seeing no more questions, thank you so much. Okay, with that, we'll move into the next item on the agenda, which is statutory legislation on third reading. The first bill is SBS 55-012, the Engineering Expo Removal Act. Do I see a motion to enter third reading? Senator Ahmed. So moved. Are there any objections? Seeing no objections, we're now on the third reading. And Senator Yolanda.
Had an objection. Would it be possible to, well, my objection is I would like to move the first reading of 4 above them just because we've reviewed the next 2 and then the core we can go and just pass them all together.
I rescind my motion.
Thank you, Senator Ahmed. Senator Yolanda.
I guess I should have done so there. I move to switch statutory legislation first reading of SB 55-024 before statutory reading on third reading.
Are there any objections to Senator Yolanda's motion? Seeing none, we will move the first reading of SBS 55-024 to right after student affairs presentation. With that, the next item on the agenda is SBS 55-024, the Coordinated Organization and Realignment of Engineering Expo, or CORE. So do I see a motion on the first reading? Senator Manning. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now on the first reading, and Senator Yolanda, you have the floor.
I'll start with
switch up things. We reviewed the other two, and this is the bill from Pacer. So I figured it'd be better to look at the first one that we can go through all three at once if you're okay. So there's three main pages in this. The first one is add sports club council to those organizations ineligible for travel grant. The reason for this is according to their ROPs, in order to be a part of the sports club council, it's one member from each sports club, so therefore it's restrictive, and therefore statutes say that we shouldn't let them apply for travel grant because they're restricted in their membership. The intent of this legislation is to update travel grant engineering code. The next change is it's just minor word changes in the travel grant information, and so it switches things like it used to say 12 passenger van, it used to say car. So this is where in 804.5.1 it just adds sports club council is not ineligible to receive travel funds. So and then this is the mess where it changes vehicles, and so it just pretty much adds everything to say vehicle size, and so that way we're not discriminating what type of vehicle. So if someone wants to say what says a van that's 12 passengers, what if I have a truck that's 12 passengers? It's very clear of all vehicles and not just a certain type of vehicle. The next thing that's changed is instead of putting rooms, it's lodging. Rooms is very specific, so lodging makes it more broad, so depending on what they're staying in. What if they're staying in a cabin, that's not actually a room, something like that. That's a little bit different. And the last change is the removal of the engineering expo grant.
Senator Colon.
If you go down to 804.5, I think it was. Vehicle should be spelled correctly.
Something with the formatting.
There's still an extra C. No, there's not. I lied. Okay.
Are there any questions or points about this bill? Do I see any motions? Senator Hibba. We're in the first reading, so we cannot enter voting procedures. Your options are to table, to move into a second reading. And that's pretty much it, actually. Senator Malanga.
Seeing as we've looked at the bills related to this several times already, I move to enter a second reading.
So are there any objections to ending the first reading and entering a second reading of SBS 55-021? Seeing none, we're now in second reading, and Senator Yola, you have the floor. Senator Alva. Any objections to dispersing the second reading of this bill? Seeing no objections, the second reading has been dispersed. Do I see any points, motions, amendments? Senator Hibba.
I reinstate my motion to vote on the Corey Act.
Are there any objections to voting on the Corey Act? Seeing none, we are now in voting procedures. Please forgive me. As you guys saw, the clicker software wasn't working, so I'm going to have to type every single vote we do in right before we do it. Okay. Click 1 to vote yes, 2 to vote no, and 3 to abstain. And it seems as if it's still not working. What that means is that we're going to have to use the roll call vote. please can remain in order. Sorry. Senator Cirillo.
Really hard work to negotiate with my hand and I just have to protest.
So again, your options are yes, no, and abstain, just like we would with the Clippers.
Aziz? Yes. Altar, I vote yes. Malanga? Yes. Strong?
Yes.
Low? Yes. Hartman?
Yes.
Ahmed Ramadan?
Yes.
Ahmed Mahmoud?
Yes.
Berg?
Yes.
Samino? Ditzer?
Yes.
Fontaine?
Yes.
Gibson?
Yes.
Luck?
Yes.
Hainline? Yes. Hassan Danish?
Yes.
Hibba?
Yes.
Linus?
Yes.
Lopez Gustavo?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Roach? Sanchez Taylor? Sites?
Yes.
Bag?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Guerra?
Yes.
Ramirez?
Yes.
Chaudhry? Gonzalez? Hassan? Anika? Littleton? Johnson?
Yes.
Myers? Viola?
Yes.
Lopez? Hannah? Shiflett? Yes. Milos? Cribb?
Yes.
Landy?
Yes.
Watt? Malone?
Yes.
Hassan Adil? Gigante? Santos? Hafiz?
Yes.
Cirillo?
Yes.
Heffernan?
Yes.
Jihadi?
Yes.
Lundberg?
Yes.
Petrovska? Smith?
Yes.
Wade? With that.
With a vote count of 37 to 0 to 1, which means the abstaining vote, the Corey Act passes. The next item on the agenda is statutory legislation on third reading. Our first bill is SBS 55-012, the Engineering Expo Removal Act. Do I see a motion to enter the third reading? Senator Cirillo. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in third reading, and Senator Yoloa, you have the second floor.
The intent of this legislation is to update specifics about grant accounts and remove engineering expo grant from statutes. does a couple things. It creates one grants account with a line item for each grant. It has the chair of special funding submit recommendations to ACERC committee. It makes sports club council not eligible for travel. It allows for the rollover from grant money from homecoming and tuition to travel after the funds have been allocated. Travel grant, one line, a line item in the grants account, and the chair of funding submits recommendation to ACERC. It changes the travel grant so that they have to have 25 business days prior to the departure date instead of the travel date, which makes it more clear for everyone. Makes the chair of special funding submit recommendations of homecoming grant to ACERC and creates a line item for it in that grants account. Changes the wording for from homecoming to homecoming events, so it includes all events of homecoming without specific, whenever someone classifies as a main homecoming. And deletes engineering expo from statutes.
Are there any questions? Do I see any motions? Senator Fung,
Motion to vote.
are there any objections to voting on this bill? Seeing no objections, we're now in voting procedures, and we'll again vote by roll call. Your options are yes, no, and abstain.
Aziz? Yes. Antar, I vote yes. Malanga?
Yes.
Strong? Bilowa?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
Ahmed Imran?
Yes.
Ahmed Mahmoud? Yes. Berg?
Yes.
Semino? Winter?
Yes.
Fontaine?
Yes.
Gibson?
Yes.
Blunt?
Yes.
Mainline?
Yes.
Hassan Danish?
Yes.
Hiba?
Yes.
Linus?
Yes.
Lopez Gustavo?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Roach? Sanchez? Sights? Vanek?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Guerra?
Yes.
Ramirez?
Yes.
Chaudhry? Gonzalez? Hassan Anika? Igra? Johnson? Myers? Viola?
Yes.
Lopez? Anna? Shiflett? Milos? Greg? Landy?
Yes.
Watt? Salone?
Yes.
Hassan Adil? Dante? Santos? Hafiz? Cirillo?
Yes.
Heffernan?
Yes.
Yahadi?
Yes.
Lumberg?
Yes.
Troska? Smith?
Yes.
And Wade? Rodriguez? How you doing?
I abstain.
36-0.
The vote count of 36 to 0 to 1, this bill passes. The next item on the agenda is procedural legislation on third reading. Our first bill is SBP 55-004, which is the Engineering Expo ROQ removal. Do I see a motion under third reading? Senator Heffernan. Are there any objections? Seeing no objections, we're now on third reading, and Senator Ulloa, you have the floor.
So this bill just strikes engineering expo as one of the duties of the committee on special funding. That is really all pertains to this bill.
Senator Malanga.
I move that are voted by roll call.
Are there any objections to voting? Seeing none, we will now vote on this procedural bill by roll call.
Aziz?
Yes.
Antar, I vote yes. Malanga?
Yes.
Strong? Bilowa?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
Ahmed Imran?
Yes.
Ahmed Mahmoud? Yes. Berg?
Yes.
Semino? Winter?
Yes.
Fontaine?
Yes.
Gibson. Lusk.
Yes.
Haymark. Hassan Danish.
Yes.
Hiba.
Yes.
Heiss.
Yes.
Lopez. Gustavo.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Sloch. Sanchez. Sights. Maddox. Williams. Guerra. Ramirez. Chaudhry. Gonzalez. Hassan Anika. Seagra. Johnson. Myers. Viola. Lopez. Anna. Shiflett. Velos. Cribb. Landy. Watt. Malone.
Yes.
Hassan Adil. Gigante. Santos. Ortiz.
Yes.
Cirillo.
Yes.
Heffernan. Nahi.
Yes.
Lumberg.
Yes.
Petroska. Smith.
Yes.
Wade. Again, Rodriguez Haniba.
I abstain.
Vote 36 to 0 to 1.
The vote of 36 to 0 to 1. This bill passes. The next item on the agenda is statutory legislation on first reading. We have SBS 55-025, the local fee recommendation committee. Do I see a motion and a first reading? Senator Ramirez. Are there any objections? Seeing no objections, we're now on third reading, and looking forward to these, you have the Senate floor.
Alright, so before I start, go back to the concept of what we're trying to do here. So the local fee process this year, Corey was on the committee, the other people, was President Coco, and based on that, I presented to the local fee committee from student government for the NSC. So we saw was the concept was kind of the administration kind of decides what to put, and then student government later finds out what it is, and then we present to local fee, so then later on go to ASAR. So what this does is puts the student, it is a student fee, it brings all the requests and points to local fee and prioritizes them with student input before it's sent to local fee. So it puts like the student in the student fee. Does that make sense? So that's the concept behind it. So no, we're not like blindsided by proposals or anything. So when we have it, it's kind of like going to thing. So this will add to the Title VI, which is functional group. So we have the local fee recommendation committee, LFRC. So the purpose of the local fee recommendation committee shall be to research, propose, analyze, and recommend activity and service fee initiatives before they're submitted and presented to local fee committee. So that's the scope of what the committee is. So the local fee recommendation committee has purview over all ANS entities requesting a fee increase, which makes sense since ANS should fall under our wing anyway. So next is the local fee recommendation committee shall have authority to propose local fee increase requests. So that means if there's an initiative that student government wants, let's say we want a hair salon or something, that ability is there to make that proposal through that committee. So composition, we have student body president or designee, we have Senate president or designee, CFO, 3 members of the Senate, elected by the Senate, you guys. So the dean for students or designee is non-voting ex officio member. So normally the dean is the one that kind of decides what's sent to local fee, which is the one presenting it. But in this aspect, the dean will be on the committee, kind of along as the administrative side, the student side. Because most of the student affairs are probably boards and do. It makes logical sense to put that person on that committee. Next is a member of the SASE, Student Affairs Shared Services Center. They handle most of the business have our ASBO, which is our business office, and we have Escado, which is Gary in the back. So, the local fee recognition committee shall be called to order by the student body president and said president by the last Friday of June. So what that does in that time frame is new Senate president, new student body president take office in May. So it gives them the whole May, and pretty much the whole June to kind of acclimate and learn what they have to do. So they're not rushed right away to call this committee. So it gives them time. That's why it's June. And also the university wants to do local fee earlier and earlier each year, so it gives more time to hash things out. So the student body president shall serve as the chair for the first meeting to elect a chair of the local fee recognition committee. So student body president, first meeting, elects the chair. Local committee elects their chair. The committee shall receive a report of the previous fiscal year's smooth and revised local fee requests. So what that means is like that you see last year's request and see if there's any consistency between the requests. Let's say you wanted like an LGBT coordinator, last year you didn't get it, and this and like HR funded it. So logically you would want to request it in this year's fee increase to balance out the extra funding. So you're getting. The committee shall schedule meetings with any ASN requesting for an increase and compile a list of the requests. So it's following all the requests into the committee. So then the AMS fee increase request shall include proposed ideas and estimated costs. So the committee pretty much gets what the proposal is, the concept, idea what they want to do with the fee increase. Then the committee shall research, analyze, and discuss and provide feedback to any ASN on their proposed fee increase request. Then the committee shall rank the requests in priority order. So then finally, the local fee recommendation committee shall submit the ASB increase request in priority order to the student affairs executive team before the first meeting of local fee committee. So this is in line with the practice we do now, where they send all the requests to what we call E-team, which is this, and they kind of do the final vetting before send to local fee. So questions?
Senator Cirillo.
So the recommendation of the local fee committee have to go to Senate and be passed by Senate in order for those recommendations to go through, or no? They will just go straight to the E-team.
So what you're doing is that it wouldn't make, because when I discussed this with Gary when I first came and drafted it, it wouldn't make sense to have Senate vote on it and have it binding, because in the end, way in the end, it's ASAR that does ultimate funding. So this prioritizes that, let's say, we're student government, these are our priorities, and this is what we believe that we will support. This is what we think that you should request for local fee on that.
So really, this is a suggestion for fee increases. It's not vetoing any fee increases that the executive or like, the student affairs office tells us they would like to do, or it doesn't.
Well, you'll create a priority list, but it doesn't make sense to like veto it, because technically they can still just do it. Like, but it's better they want, because on their end they don't want to propose things that we're not going to support. On our end, we don't want to support things that we don't want to support. So when you put these two together.
So would the senators that sit on this committee be like senators on ASARC, where they're paid and elected at the beginning of the year to sit on this committee for a certain amount of time?
Well, it's kind of like the student memorial parade, because this realistically will start in June, probably end in September, because that's when local fee usually starts. Like this year, they move it early and early each year, so that's a good time and that time.
Is there any more questions? Senator Hill.
Branching off of what Senator Cirillo mentioned, does this committee meet for like 2 or 3 hours a week, or would it meet for like 2 or 3 hours, like 6, 7 hours? High intensity or long?
I envision it being like a 1 hour a week, depending on what the workload is, because it'll be a new committee. So it really depends on how the work and flow goes. Because it could be like one meeting is 3 hours long, or multiple meetings are half an hour meeting. Depending on people's schedules, because the student affairs departments are all different. So it's not usually like long like an ASAP.
Senator Cook.
So from this bill, what is like one or two of the most important things that us as senators should take away from it?
One thing is that you'll have student input on what is being requested and the ability to propose our own initiatives to local fee. So instead of them being presented to us, we will be on the same plane of what is being presented. We can present new things.
Senator Johnson.
Is there a reason that the vehicle of the new committee is more preferable to either giving this responsibility to special funding appropriations and audits, or just to having maybe Juice and exercise on it?
So all of your answers, none of those work.
Why?
Because this is a local fee is a separate thing by itself. It's not something you can tag like put to someone else because it's more of a process to do by itself. Use the next steps to analyze everything and discuss it.
Senator Sorrell.
So I understand that at the end of the year, ASAR does decide the allocation of AMS fees, but is there a reason why the Senate body as a whole still would want to decide on the local fee increases or whatever this committee decides on, so that the university feels like the senators that they elect would have an influence on the voting of local fee increases or not increases?
What he's saying is that at the end of the day, the senators vote on the actual allocation. So even, no matter what this committee suggests or recommends, at the end of the day, it's ultimately our decision on whether or not we're gonna fund certain things. So Gary.
Bottom line is the local school committee has a lot of issues, and they make that decision on the campus. So whether you make a binding incentive or you make a recommendation, they're going to count whatever you say. So it's irrelevant for the most part.
So this legislation was sent to the Dean of Students and E-Team and the Atlantic overall. So they're in favor of the whole working together idea of it.
Senator Eva.
I think we've exhausted the discussion on it for now. I motion to table this bill until next week.
Are there any objections to tabling this bill to the next Senate meeting? Seeing no objections, this bill will be tabled. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is fiscal legislation on first reading. We have SBA 55-050, the Writing History, Art, and Theater Club. Do I see a motion on the first reading? Senator Guinness. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in first reading. And Senator Malanga, as well as Senator Gluck, gentlemen under Senate floor.
Thank you very much. All right, good evening again, Senate. For the benefit of Attorney General Johnson, who's not in the room, the increase in account balance is $85,544.35. And with that, I yield to Senator Gluck.
All right, it's my first presentation, so bear with me. So the acronym is WHAT, Writing, History, Art, Theory. Basically for students in those fields to gather with other students, to network their ideas, to share their ideas, to have input on them, and to present them to other students. So this is, you look at it real quick and I'll go to the next slide. So for the first activity, they want to hire this speaker, Dr. Thomas Crow, who is, I guess, a pro in the field, very prominent, and they would love to get him. It's also combined with a luncheon. So after the luncheon, or after the speaking, they'll be like food, they can talk to him, get to know him, meet faculty, hang out with the students. We decided to, it's money at the end. The first one. We decided to give him the 150, which is a sandwich. You can say it there. With food, so something about this. An end of the year banquet, which is a dinner for students to meet other students and faculty in the department, basically to network their ideas. It's open to all students, so it's not just closed off. That's it.
So just to add on to what Senator Gluck said, the allocation is in the beginning, it's $535.30. There are no breaks from standards, and you're open to any questions.
Senator Hibble.
It shows that they requested almost $9,000 in materials. Could you
Yes.
describe what the biggest number?
The speaker was $3,500, and which is way too much to fund. According to standards, we can only fund up to 150. So we decided to give them the full 150, and they asked for 420 for food, but only 60 people showing up. So
And then going off that, the other materials cost that was requested was printing costs for a catalog that they want to produce. There's really no precedent in funding something like that, and because they have their text mark fees that we allocate to each year. The committee decided not to fund it, but they requested a little bit over $5,000 in printing fees. That was the largest cut.
any other questions?
Senator Yolo.
So if I'm looking at their Excel sheet correctly, they're asking for food for lecture and food immediately after lecture. Could you tell me how they went about?
Yeah, so they requested that as two separate events. You look at the first two events, the visiting lecturer and then food for it. They didn't really understand the way the process worked, and when I was speaking to them, I asked them if it was two separate events, and what they explained to me was that what they want to do is have food at the lecturer's event. So they requested it as two events. It's really not two events; it's one. It's just one event, but there was no reason not to fund it as a second event. But I explained to them in the future it makes a lot more sense for them to just request the food and the materials at the same time for the event. If you look at it, the first thing has 0 for food, and then the second one has 0 for materials. So they didn't like double dip or anything like that. They did it the one way.
Are there any more questions? Senator Trump.
If there are no further questions, I move to end adjournment procedure.
Are there any objections to Senator Trump's motion? Seeing no objections, we are now in voting procedure by roll call.
Aziz? Yes. Amar, I vote yes. Waka?
Yes.
Vaughn? Law?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
Ahmed Iman?
Yes.
Ahmed Mahmoud? Berg? Yes. Amino? Vincent?
Yes.
Fontaine?
Yes.
Gibson? Luck?
Yes.
Amon? Yes. Hassan Danish?
Yes.
Hibba?
Yes.
Mattis?
Yes.
Lopez Gustavo?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Roach?
Yes.
Seitz?
Yes.
Maddock?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Guerra?
Yes.
Ramirez?
Yes.
Chaudhry? Gonzalez? Hassan Higa? Igra? Johnson?
Yes.
Myers? Viola?
Yes.
Lopez? Hannah? Chiclet? Yes. Villos? Cribb? Landy?
Yes.
Watt?
Yes.
Cologne? Yes. Cologne?
Yes.
Hassan?
Yes.
Hassan Adil? Dante? Santos? Hafiz?
Yes.
Cirillo? Yes. Heffernan? Yahadi?
Yes.
Lumberg?
Yes.
Droska? Smith?
Yes.
Wade? And Rodriguez?
I abstain.
With a vote of 38-0.
It was voted 38-0 to 1. SBA 55-050 passes. With that, we'll move on to announcements. Senator Glow.
Again, I'm hoping that Chris and Becky can help plan a decision for the kickoff and they'll sign. We get something going.
President Boise.
Very stylish.
You only have 3 slides to make, you get a lot of time to really mess with the silence.
Senator Hartman.
I just want to remind everybody that signing sheets for the 10th day tomorrow went around, so if you can volunteer and would like some free food and lots of forms, please come out. I expect my community members there.
Senator Gibson. Senator Yulon.
So, as everybody knows, campaigning for elections starts on Monday. I just want to leave a reminder for everyone, there is no campaigning in the SG office or any SG streets, agencies, etc. So, just a reminder so that you guys, that includes t-shirts, anything, talking about campaigns, leave it out of the office for campaign season.
Great point, Senator Yulon. Thank you. Senator Malega.
So I assume the CORI acronym comes from Pro Tempore Z, so I'd like to congratulate him on another fantastic
Any more nonsense? Okay, so I'd like to apologize to everyone for starting a little bit late. We're having a small difficulty with the resolution. There was some miscommunication. And I honestly have no idea what's wrong with the clicker system right now. But I will do my best to get that figured out next week. Thanks for bearing with us in terms of having to do roll call voting. I think that's all I have. Great job, guys. You had a really short meeting today. It's really exciting. Anything else for announcements? Seeing nothing else, we'll move into final roll call.
Oh.
Okay, Rodriguez. Present.
Aziz. Present. Moana.
Present.
Strong. Loa.
Present.
Harmon. Ahmed. Ron.
Present.
Mahmoud. Present. Bird. Semino. Vincer.
Here.
Fontaine.
Guys, we did sit down.
Newsom. Luck. Mayline. Son.
Here.
Miller. Linus.
Here.
Lopez. Gustavo.
In attendance.
Miller. Roach. Sanchez. Naylor.
Present.
Simon. Bennett. Williams.
Here.
Guerra. Ramirez. Chaudhry. Gonzalez. Hassan. Pleasanton. Indra. Johnson. Myers. Viola. Lopez. Anna. Triplett. Here. Villas. Gribb. Mandy. Watt.
Here.
Malone. Hassan. O'Neill. Malone.
Here.
Deontay. Santos. Ortiz. Cirillo. Heffernan. Lottie. Here. Lundberg.
Present.
Petrowska. Smith.
Present.
Wade.
Final count 40. Do I see a motion to adjourn? Senator Fontaine.
I move to adjourn.
Are there any objections? Seeing no objections, the Senate meeting is adjourned at 8:15 p.m.
Oh, no, he doesn't. But, like,
Let me know when it's officially off.